Matt Christine here from Sight of Sound, and I'm on the phone with Lights. I'm going to warn everybody ahead of time, there's a little bit of the delay. So, what's going on?
Not much. I'm actually just pacing in my yard because it's such a nice afternoon and I'm supposed to go on tour in a couple days and I'm just enjoying my downtime.
Well, that's good. It seems like you've been really busy lately since the release of Little Machines back in September. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Little Machines came out on September 23rd and it feels so good to have it out. I think, it's been 3 years since I put a record out, and in that time, I just feel like so much has happened, and I've experienced so much, and feel like I've, almost lost it all and come back and rediscovered my passion for music and record it all into this record I'm so proud of. Had so much fun recording it, and now to finally be here and people are hearing it and I'm talking about it. And I did a few shows already to kind of kick off the tour, and people are singing along to these songs that I've been sitting on for a couple of years now, it seems, and requesting songs that aren't even the singles. Like, I don't know, it's just been really cool. So it's been a really neat last couple of weeks.
I bet. I saw that you recently played a show for Pink-tober. Do you want to talk about how you became involved with that movement?
Yeah, so I'm the 2014 Hard Rock Pink-tober ambassador, which is a pretty nice honor, especially with the reach of this campaign to spread awareness and raise money for breast cancer research. It's such an important thing. I think for me, when they approached me to do it, it was kind of a no-brainer because I've had a lot of fans come to shows dealing with cancer. I've been to a lot of places and met a lot of people, and it's really it's heartbreaking. It's devastating seeing the families deal with this. And anything anybody can do to end such a horrible thing is amazing. And I think specifically for me, I'm 27 and 20. I haven't really thought much about this kind of thing. And I guess 28,000 women a year, just in the U.S. alone, under 25, are diagnosed with breast cancer. And that's not something I always thought about. So I think it's really important for people to know about it. And using Hard Rock's platform in mind to spread awareness and raise some money is just rad. So yeah, the month of October is all about raising money. There's like the shirt you can buy in the store, hardrock.com/Pink-tober. It's great.
Yeah, it's definitely great to see that you're a part of such a monumental movement, I want to say, and it's kind of also great that it coincided with your album release because it was two things at once. You got to be a part of helping so many people and at the same time also kind of play a warm-up for this upcoming tour. I'm sure that was nice.
Yeah, it was a really cool, experience. We played at the Hard Rock in Times Square, and it was a launch for Pink-tober. It was September 30th. Plus got to play a bunch of new songs with fans for the first time. We brought 300 fans in just for a free show, and it was really cool. People were singing along. It was so nice.
Do you think that the time in between Siberia and this album helped you in a way, and then revisiting Siberia acoustically, did that affect this album writing process at all?
For sure. It's been 3 years in Siberia, like I mentioned, and so much has happened in that time, including the acoustic album, which was actually really just an awesome experience. I produced that album, the acoustic version, and ended up touring on it, which is actually tough touring on an acoustic album because it's just you. It was me and the cellist, so every little mistake is heard and every moment of silence counts. There's nothing you can hide behind, all smoke and light, and it made me that much more confident in what I do, and then kind of launched into writing for Little Machines after that. And in that time I've been married and had a baby, and just my outlook and perspective on life has just evolved so much. And what I know about myself and music has evolved so much in that time. Every little experience I had in that time counted towards this record, and it all culminated at the beginning of this year when I recorded it. Had the baby, bought a house for my first time. It was just, it was wild. It was a really cool, emotional experience making the record.
I bet, like you just said, during that time period between Siberia and Little Machines, you became a mother. That obviously affected the writing process. It affects a lot more than just that. Does that influence how touring is going to go for you now? Is Rocket going to go on tour with you? How's that all going to pan out? Does it make it more complicated?
a layer for sure, but he's done it on the road with me. I mean, it's crazy. When I found out I was having a baby, you kind of are presented with a lot of questions about life. Can I keep doing music? Can I still tour? What am I going to do? Can I still write? Can I sing? Do I make everyone put their lives on hold, or do I push ahead and do this? And in the process of having to answer all those questions for myself, I think I've discovered how much I love doing this and how I'm not ready to not do this anymore. So, I'm taking it day at a time and just testing the waters, seeing what it's like bringing her around. And so far, she's come to every single show. She was there while I was finishing the record when she was a newborn. I had her, pretty much when I was in the studio. I was in labor in the studio and I went home and had a baby and came back in 3 days later. So she's just so part of my life, and she's so part of the music, and she's so part of everything that I'm doing around the music that, it's actually been really fun, and, not much has changed. It's crazy. We're about to embark on this huge tour. We have UK and European coming up early next year, and I'm actually not too worried about it. It's going to be rad.
That's great. I'm sure there was, like you said, that certain level of worry before it all happened, because it's good that it worked out this direction and that you're able to keep touring, able to keep making music, and get ready to go out across, like you said, the US and UK in support of Little Machines.
Totally.
Now, on this coming tour, obviously your last tour in support of Siberia was very heavily, like, the stage show is very dramatic, very bright, very chaotic, but in a good way, which is very different than the acoustic tour. What can fans expect for this run?
Well, we have some cool ideas up our sleeve right now. We're about to go into full production rehearsals actually on Saturday, so over the weekend. But I think what's probably going to be the case is a kind of a combination of the last two tours, where it was very like hard lighting and extreme and strobe, very fancy with Siberia, and with the listening was like very sparkling and warm and palatable. So I think it's probably going to be a combination of both, because that's kind of how this record is. And on top of that, we're actually experimenting with a couple of really cool things. One of which is this new app. I don't know, who knows if it's going to work out. Like, these kind of things are always a bit of an experiment, but it's an app that allows fans in the crowd phones to become part of the show. So we basically hack the phone and turn it into a light for a song and see how that contributes to the production of that song. So little things like that. It's going to be fun on this run for sure.
That sounds pretty incredible. I'm not going to lie. I'm sure that'll look pretty neat if you're able to pull that off for a song. So going out on the road, is there going to be anything that you specifically miss from being at home? I know you're an avid gamer. I'm sure you'll bring some comic books on the road. Is there anything that you wish you could have the full luxury of while you're out?
Well, I'm going to bring my console, which is one thing that I do miss when I'm on like one-off dates. You can't bring your console with you, because when you have buttons, you can bring that, and that's going to be great. I'll probably bring my recording gear so that I can actually work on music, so that won't be too missed. It's kind of nice having a bus, because there's a home on the road. One thing for sure that I'll miss, though, is my yard. We just actually moved out west to the Vancouver area, and we have this huge, beautiful forest and yard, and I'm actually pacing in it right now, and it's amazing. I think I'll miss that for sure. I'm at home. It feels like a getaway every time I'm here. So that, and a constant laundry machine, especially with a baby. You gotta throw things in the wash every day.
Yeah, I never thought about that. I guess laundry is definitely going to be a little bit of a challenge on this tour. I do have to ask what console you're going to bring on the road.
Well, I'm still on Xbox 360. I'm going to get a One at some point, but most of the games I'm playing are still on 360, so probably bring that over now.
Well, that sounds like a great choice. I'm sure that'll be a much needed break in your day.
Totally. You know what's the best? Is just sitting there with my baby sleeping in my lap and playing Final Fantasy. It's kind of one of my favorite things. And a cheese platter. But it's the night. That's the night.
That sounds pretty fantastic. Well, thank you for taking some time to talk to us. Hope you're enjoying your lovely day of painting out there in Vancouver. We're looking forward to seeing you in Philadelphia later this year. And to end this, I'll just turn it over to you. You can say whatever you want. No pressure. It's all yours.
All right, well, thanks again for having me. I'm so pumped for this tour. Honestly, the new songs are so fun to play. People are responding to them so well. Like, I just can't believe I'm so fortunate to be doing this. So I want the show experience it. It's going to be fun. Pick up the record and enjoy it. Let it take you out of your daily grind for a few minutes, because that's what it's meant to do. And just live in the moment.
Great advice. Thanks so much.
No problem. Thanks for talking to me.